Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care. Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.
Tyler Reddick here from 2311 Racing. Another checkered flag for the books. Time to celebrate with Chumba. Jump in at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T&Cs. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
Welcome to Sun Coaches Podcast, our intro podcast that we're starting here. All coaches under the sun, the discourse on high school coaching, high school football coaching in the state of Georgia, Alabama, Florida, South Carolina, pretty much the Southeast. I'm Chris Lamb, man of constant sorrow. It's probably something that not many people have been waiting for. We said we were going to do this about a year ago. It's taken this long to get to this point. It's the brainchild of Coach James Thompson, who's at the University of South Florida right now, working his tail off as the portal's set to open on Monday. And anyway, James came to me last year and suggested we do this. And we're not going to talk X's and O's. We're not really going to discuss all of you gurus out there that know how to line up in whatever you line up in, talk about stuff like that. The market's inundated with that. So if that's what you're looking for here, this is not the place for you. What we are going to do is we're going to interview coaches. We're going to tell funny stories. We're going to talk about things we've seen from players and coaches and just over the years, things we've done and seen and heard that in this profession that makes it what it is. That's who we are. So James will be joining me. We're going to try to get college coaches on here, mostly high school coaches, and just tell funny stories. Things that have gone on over the years, and just my take on things, his take on things, and go with that and see if something you guys find interesting. And if you want to be a part of it, just reach out to me. I'll be glad to have you on, and we'll discuss, whatever comes up, whatever we have going on, the current events with high school coaching throughout the Southeast and nationwide, really, if there's things you want to discuss, if we're having the same issues across the country with high school athletics, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, track field, men and women's sports, it really doesn't matter. I have a baseball and football background. I'm a nobody from nowhere that's never done anything. So that's what we're doing here. And this is our introductory podcast. We're going to see how it goes, what it entails, and what goes on from there. Something that would be funny. You can follow me at Coach Lamb1, Man of Constant Sorrow on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it now. We'll be releasing this on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, some other places there if you want to find us there. Also on Twitter. There probably will be some explicit content as I can't guarantee or promise language that people will be using on here. I'm sure there'll be some nickel to $5 cuss words that'll slip out from here to there. But I'll be working the Nike clinics this year in Orlando and Washington, D.C., so hopefully we'll get some access to the college coaches there, and we'll be able to ask some things of them, get some funny stories, and we'll change the names to protect the innocent. We're not going to throw anybody under the bus, and we're definitely not going to try to cause anybody to lose their jobs. That's not our intent whatsoever. But that's what we are. That's what we're doing. That's what we're going to try to do. So with that being said, a lot of people have asked me over the years, like, how did you get into this? When did you start this persona? How did you become the man of constant sorrow? And for those of you who don't know, it's started with the Georgia Varsity Sports event, probably about 98 or 99. And I was curious as a young coach when the job season would start, and there was this guy on there, Etu Brute was his handle on there, and he would post the jobs when the jobs would come open. And I was just curious as a young coach because I wanted to be a head coach one day when I grew up, and I was curious to see how these guys got these head coaching jobs and wanted to know what I would have to do to get these jobs as well. And, you just wondered how do these guys get these jobs? So, it started with that and just watching, the coaching trees in the state of Georgia. And at the time there were 4 or 5 major trees, and people came from Coach Henderson or Coach Hyder and Coach Bazemore. They came from Coach Hodges, or there were several others that everybody traced back to those trees. And it was just interesting for me to follow these guys and find out, how did they get these jobs? How did they come about it? And then over the years, just kept up with it, and it evolved into, we kind of knew behind the scenes who was going to get what jobs and who was going to, who was applying for these jobs. And then, as professional courtesy, it became a deal where we're just going to put their initials out there, and then people, the coaches kind of knew who was in the final 5 when it got down to 3 or whatever, and then we would have a working idea of who was in the mix, who was actually up for these gigs, and who was going to get them, and that kind of made it more interesting because you kind of could help people out and point them in the right direction and make phone calls, or help guys get jobs and kind of have an idea of where you stood as a young coach and what jobs you really fit, what you thought you could get, or what you might go after. And so that's how I really got started in it. And over the years, it just became one of those deals where I took it over and became the guy. And I think people think that I sit here and this is all I do all day, and I know all this stuff and do all these things, and the wizard, don't pay any attention to the man behind the curtain kind of thing, where that's nothing could be further from the truth. It's mainly what happens is people contact me and they tell me this, that, and the other. I heard this, I did that, whatever. I don't really pay that much attention because I don't have time to deal with it, to be honest with you. And it's become, over the past 4 or 5 years, more aggravating than anything else. And about 10 years ago, it was brought to my attention that, there were a lot of people that just they couldn't stand my guts because I was doing these things with the job board and everything else. And to be honest with you, I really don't care. I mean, people have been not hiring me for 30 years. They can continue to not hire me. It's not a problem. I have multiple certifications, one of which is special education. It's a high need area. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I'm not worried about it. You guys that have, it's not really a threat there. But anyway, people couldn't separate the character from the actual coach and the person and whatever else. But, being diagnosed as an adult with Asperger's, there's a lot of things socially I don't pick up on and don't really bother myself with and don't care about, to be quite frank with you. And so the social aspect of it, surely I really don't care. Over the past 5 years, I've become aggravated with some of the younger coaches that expect me to do all the legwork and find out all of these things for them. And I'm not going to do that. I'll tell you what jobs open. I'll point you in the right direction of where to apply. I'm not going to post anything unless it's posted on Teach Georgia or the county website. I'm usually privy to information way before it comes available, but I get tired of listening to the same old tropes with, oh, it's the good old boy network, blah, 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 and I don't have time for that. I really don't. I'm not going to listen to that. Yeah, you're right. If they're white dudes, it's the good old boy network. If they're black dudes, it's the frat boy system. Bottom line is you got to know somebody. Used to, we had coaches were administrators. And by God, that's how it worked. And they were the superintendent, they were the principals, they were whatever. Now you have English teachers that are administrators. They probably didn't spend that much time in the classroom to begin with, and they don't really care about athletics, or they do, and that, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. They're either really, really good or really, really not. They can be very supportive in that they give you whatever you want, or they leave you alone, they don't care, you go do whatever, or they go out of their way to make your life.
Hey, it's Bubba Wallace from 2311 Racing. You know what feels like forever? Sitting on a plane waiting for takeoff. Good thing I've got Chumba Casino. With daily boost and social casino games on tap, this is the kind of fun that makes time fly. Why not turbocharge your downtime? Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Difficult. Either way, you need to do your research. You need to figure this stuff out. You need to go find out whether it's a committee interview or you're just meeting with a principal, how many people are on the committee. Do you need to have a portfolio? Do you need to be ready to do a PowerPoint presentation? Do you need to take over the interview? How many slots they're going to have? What is the pay? What are their facilities? All of these other things. You need to do that, not me. I'm not doing it. There are too many jobs that come open every year for me to do that, and I'm not going to do it. I've got too much going on. Now, I will in these podcasts have a session that we call the Hotness, or the word on the street, and that's the one where I'm probably really going to upset some people, and again, don't care, where I'm going to give my take on these jobs that are open, and they're not just going to be my take, they're going to be pretty much what the coaching community is saying about these jobs. And keep in mind that all of these jobs that come open, they will be filled. Somebody's going to take these jobs. Every one of these jobs that comes open every year in every state is going to be filled. Somebody is going to take that job. So, it doesn't matter one way or the other what you think about it, what I think about it, whatever else. What I try to do is provide the information to the people, to the coaches, to know what you're getting yourself into, because when we're at the clinic next year and you're walking around looking crazy because this, that, and the other happened, I don't want to hear about it. We tried to tell you. You don't want to listen. That's on you. I don't have time nor the energy to deal with, you don't want to deal, you don't want to listen. That's a you problem. That's not a me problem. So, do I know everything? Oh, no. I'm not very intelligent at all. I mean, eating crayons and licking windows is what I do probably better than you. I'm marginal skills. Don't know how to fix anything, build anything. I'm not even good at finger painting. I live on a golf course and I'm not good at golf. I like playing. I'm not good, but I enjoy chasing a little white ball around. But what I am able to do is learn very quickly, and I can draw inferences from things, and I pay attention. I talk a lot, but I don't really say anything. And those that know me can attest to the fact that I do talk a lot, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay of whatever your perception is of Mox is okay with me. That's fine, because the sun's going to come up tomorrow. I'm going to be all right, and we're going to be fine, and I'm still going to help people whether you need it or not. But I'm not going to do your job for you. I'm not going to go research these jobs to the point where, all you've got to do is walk in and do whatever. That's your job. So we're going to have the Hotness. I'll have the Hotness every time on this as well. Our main thing, though, is going to be doing interviews with coaches, where we're going to bring coaches in, and they're going to come in and talk to us about their experiences. Funny stories is what I want. I want to hear funny stories. I want to know something a kid did that was crazy. I want to know something that happened at the clinic. I want to know, something a coach did, said, things like that. And I know a fair amount of people in the business where I think we'll get some good entertainment out of that. And, basically the stuff we talk about when we get together at the clinics and talk, that's not necessarily football related. Now, if some of you want to get on here and talk about football, X's and O's, that's fine. We can do that too, but that's not really the point of this show. I'd like to help people with jobs, job placement, things like that. That's more about what this show and this podcast is going to be about, and what we're going to try to do. I'm going to try to keep them to 30 to 45 minutes. Really, it just depends on how much we ramble on. Believe it or not, I am capable of being quiet and listening, doing that. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens with that. And we'll try to rock on. That's how we're going to do the setups. And so I've given you a little history of what we're going to try to do, what the website or the podcast is going to be, how to get in touch with me. Coach Thompson's going to be in and out. He's been busy. We'll do some on-site live stuff after Christmas during the clinic season when we are at some places. We'll also be doing Zoom calls and things like that to get our people in. This may even lead to us having a YouTube situation. I don't know. It's taken me so long to get this set up, having back surgery and just me not being intelligent enough to figure out how to set up the technical aspects of getting this underway under ground, just the setup and how to do all this stuff. I'm not at all technologically savvy. Moved 37 times, as most of you know, and Rachel, my wife, she takes care of all the setting up the TVs and plugging in things, because I'm a moron and I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And that's okay. Everybody's got to be good at something. I haven't found that something yet, but I'm working on it. And so that's what we're going to be trying to do here on Sun Coaches Podcast, just a discourse about high school coaches, trying to help all coaches under the sun. The sun will stand for something else too, kid you not, but you can put the S-U-N, you can figure it out. And if you can't, you can't. But it's going to be kind of how we start every conversation off at the clinic when we say, I kid you not, coach, this happened. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and give you some hotness. Starting off right now in the state of Georgia, we're going to talk about the first 3 jobs, or first 4 jobs that are posted already. We got 23 on the board. I can't talk about all 23 today. And again, when we talk about what's the hotness going on in the state of Georgia with these jobs, again, they're going to be, some I'm going to carry on about for quite some time. Some of them I'm just going to say, hey, these are their colors. This is what they do. I don't know. But I also put this, I've pinned a document to my Twitter X post, and that tells you what's going on with that in the, on my Twitter feed, my X feed. That lets you know bare minimum of what I think about those jobs. And we'll start with the first one that came over this year was Midtown. Used to be Grady High School. It was already in the process quite some time ago. They may have already made a decision there. I don't know. I know they've had some success there in the past. It's downtown. It's an inner city. Atlanta Public School system. They got a great brand new school. They got a brand new stadium. It's got the cool picture of the highlight, the skylight of Atlanta in the background. Grady's had success in the past. They're kind of up and down. Just depends on where the kids are. That's pretty much all I know about that one. Cherokee North Metro job, where the man there did a great job for a long time with what he had. Can you put together a $600,000 NIL package to compete with the people around you? Yes, you heard that correctly. NIL has been approved in Georgia. There is a local school not far from you that's still playing, by the way, that has a $600,000 collective already in place. Yes, your players may make more money than you at the high school level. That's a great idea. Whoever came up with that, what could possibly go wrong here? That one's already in the process, I believe, as well. But the outgoing coach, I mean, he'd been there for a while, did a great job. Never had the best around him. Lost lots of kids, went here, there, and yonder with the way Atlanta is. And a lot of times with these jobs, people ask me stuff, and I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm not a metro guy. I've made it pretty clear with my post on X about my feelings about Atlanta. I go up there for doctor's appointments. I'll go visit friends, but I try to stay away from that place. It's not built for me. I'm not made for it. Best thing for me to do is just keep it moving. So I have some of my minions up there that help me out and let me know what's going on up there. But could it be a good job? I don't know. I guess if that's what your lifestyle and what you want to live on. But the third job on the board, and I'm just basically reading off of my thing, and is Tift County. Surely to Pete and his dragon.
Tyler Reddick here from 2311 Racing. Victory Lane? Yeah, it's even better with Chumba by my side. Race to ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T&Cs. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
And get this one right this time. There's a heap of coaches between here and Michigan that are capable. I have a guy, of course, that I would like to see get the job. Not that it matters. They don't ask me. That's another common misconception that people think that I actually have a say in any of this nonsense. One would think that, you'd think that they would actually. I have had some administrators call me, and they're like, "Hey, man, we're going to be looking. Can you help us?" And we go looking, I'm like, well, what are you looking for? And they give me a list of, what exactly it is they're looking for. And I'll give them, and they're like, well, put 5 in front of me. And I'm like, okay, well, I can do that. And, cause I pretty much know enough people. You tell me what you're looking for. I can make that happen. And, which is pretty cool. It'd be better if I got paid to do it, but that doesn't happen. But, they last hire they made, they bring in a guy from Michigan who had won a gazillion games. It was very successful, and it just didn't work out. I mean, let's be honest. You're in Region 1 7A, fixing to be 1 6A. You're Tift County. You haven't had market success since Jay Walls in 2006. Yeah, Coach Anders won 11 in 2017, but prior to that, they hadn't won more than 8 games since Coach Walls. They ran Coach Anders off, who was a good football coach. Coach Reed could only stand it for 2 years, who's at Rome now, because they wouldn't get right. They ran Coach Walls off, who was winning before he got there, and was a semifinalist. They ran him off. Coach Seward wasn't able to win any games there. Coach Winslet made it to the finals in 1997. Before that, you got to go all the way back to Coach Brody in 1983, winning the state championship. And Coach Brody was there for a long time. And Coach Brody's boys, not his actual children, not his actual relatives, but them guys that played for him, until they figure it out, they're going to keep doing what they've been doing because they've won state championships in basketball. They've got a good baseball program. They're very competitive in that. And when I was a young guy, that was the job I wanted. When I grew up, I wanted to be that was it. That was, I wanted to be the guy there because I thought that could be the greatest job in the history of the world. Still think that. But they are not. Something's wrong there. And it's like the Tim Wilson song, you've been married 4 times, maybe it's you. And there's been a heap of good coaches come through there, and they just can't figure it out. And something ain't right. And from the outside looking in, it can't get out of their own way for some reason. They can't marry up. I-75 runs through your community. You have resources. Good Lord, you the reading capital of the world, for God's sake. I've seen the sign. I mean, I've seen it. It says that we reading capital of the world, so your children can read, or you wouldn't have that sign out there. So that ain't no problem. You got facilities. That ain't no problem. You got athletes down there. They're willing to go get athletes because they went and got athletes to win the basketball side of it. But apparently they're not willing to go get the athletes to win the football side of it. The counties around you are good. Fitzgerald's good. Cook's good. That's above you and below you. Turner County's been good. Ward County, they ain't been very good. They're to the left of you, to the west of you. Moultrie's down there below you. They good. Bruce County ain't far from you. They good. But you ain't. And I don't understand. I mean, you got 2 alumni, very successful programs right there, but we know they're probably not going to get an opportunity. They ain't even been called. They didn't even get called last time. Hey, we might want to talk to you, but they're not gonna probably go that route, and we know why, which is embarrassing in 2023. One's got at least one state championship ring I know of. He won down in the Swamp, played at Georgia. The other guy is running a successful program up in South Metro, and they probably don't want to come back home. Might not want to come down there. Who knows? But they got to do something, and that's just embarrassing to me. I don't understand how you can be, have that. You look at their record and you look at what they've done in the past, and I don't know, for in the 2000s, 2-8, 5-5, 4-7, 2-8, 5-5, 7-4, 12-2, 6-5, 8-4, 3-7, 5-5, 3-7, 2-8, 5-5, 7-4, 5-5, 6-5, 11-2, 8-5, 3-7, 2-7, 6-5, 1-9, 2-8. That's not good. Well, we're in the Region 1 championship. So, you always have been. Figure it out. There's nobody wants to hear that. I mean, we have to play Lowndes and Moultrie, and we have to play doo. Nobody cares. Figure it out. I mean, let's not hire coaches from Michigan who don't talk like we do. I don't care how many games he's won. I don't care how good of a human being he is. He's not a fit for Tifton. And let's talk about that for a second. Not him per se, but being a fit for a job. You youngins out there, when you go to apply for a job, y'all can hear me talking right now. If you don't know me, I understand how I sound. I know what my accent sounds like. If you do know me, you know what I sound like. You also know what I look like, and I ain't no oil painting, let's be honest. But if Benjamin Mays High School comes open, I'm not going to apply because I am not a fit. Now, would those kids probably love me? Absolutely. Would I love those kids? Ain't no doubt about it. But when I hee-haw my behind up in there and open my mouth, the people on the interview committee are going to go, oh, no, he does not fit with our children, because the adults make the decisions, not the kids. I'm not going to get butthurt about that. I'm not going to get my feelings hurt one little bit if they don't give me an opportunity to interview there. And it has nothing to do with anything other than when you walk in and they see white-headed, fat white guy that talks country as a turnip green coming into an APS school, they're probably going to say, yeah, I don't care what this guy has done or what he can do. He is probably not going to be able to relate to nor fit with our children here. On to the next one. And I'm not mad about it. I'm also not going to apply at, let's say Kings Ridge is open. It's a private school on the north side of Atlanta, which probably costs more money to go there per year than it costs me to play golf over a 5-year span. Again, I go hoboing my behind up there and to Kings Ridge and tell them whatever and open my mouth and start talking the way I talk. And they're probably going to politely tell me to don't let the door hit you where the dog bit you. And I'll just keep it moving. And I'm not going to get my feelings hurt. I know better. It's like me applying at Buford and then getting butt hurt because I don't get an interview. Man, is you crazy? Stay in your lane. Know your role. Here are the jobs over here that you have a legitimate opportunity to go after and get. That ain't it. Those ain't the ones. Know what's going on and what your opportunity is. Then, somebody will conversely point out and say, well, they did hire a dude from Michigan. You just said he don't look like us. He doesn't talk like us, but he was able to get that job. Well, yeah, that is true. There are outliers. But, I mean, let's be real. Why would you waste the time, energy, and resources if you're not an alumni? Just know where you fit. And don't get butthurt about it and start, bitching and moaning about the ghetto boy system or, oh, man, it's the frat boy. If I'd have been a Q or if I'd have been an A or if I'd have been a Kappa, I'd have got that job, but he's just up there hiring his frat brothers. Or, oh, man, it's the good old boy system. They just old GA, CA, beep, deep, DO guys. He could. I don't want to hear that. It can't continue to be an excuse for why you're not getting the jobs you want. You got to know where you fit, where you would be a fit, because that's one of the most important things when you go into these interviews is the people look at you and they think within the first 5, 10, 15 seconds, is this guy going to be a fit for our kids? And there's really nothing you can do about that. I mean, either you are or you aren't. Now, whether or not it's fair, I mean, who cares about fair? This is fair. Ain't got nothing. Fair is where he comes to town once a year. They got a big old fire down here in Perry, Georgia every year. It's right down the road from me, and it's big. And they got good food there. You can go down there and get you some fried candy bars. They got fried Snickers. We saw the governor at the fair. Me and Coach Harbor, we saw him. We were going to go see Governor Kemp, take him down there to the fire because we his constituents. And we was going to go see him, but they wouldn't let us get nowhere near him because we sound like a bunch of daggum flag toting, daggum gun, blip, boop, dab, doop, doop, doop. That's the fair. Those are the people that are at the fair. So when we look at these jobs that are coming open, and that's what's going on, and places like Tift County that are open right now, they're not going to probably start their process. They don't have a superintendent right now, so they're probably not real concerned about a football coach. So until they get the superintendent situation straightened out, they're probably not worried about that. And, places like that, it's a big dog job. They're not going to do anything until the state championships are over with. The principal there, Chad Stone's a great guy, a tremendous administrator. He is, I worked with him. He was the assistant principal, first got started in administration when I was at Turner County in 2002, and I can't say enough good things about him. Good friend of mine, Chris Wade, was the basketball coach there when they won a state championship. I mean, I like Tifton. I think he still lives in Tifton. I mean, it's a great, great place. I love Tifton. They got some good restaurants. They've got good people there. It's a good place, but for some reason they just cannot figure it out. Hopefully they get it right this time. And the last job I'm going to talk about, the Hotness, Hotness is Banks County is open up in northeast Georgia. Coach done a tough spot, came in after the controversy they had last year, came in, did an admirable job. It's been hard to win there. They are blue and white. They have nice facilities. It is a great place to live. And they have a cool mascot, the Leopards. Biff Parson played there, who is coaching in the state finals this week. at Rock Mart. His dad, Coach Ronnie Parson, is probably the last guy to win there. Tough place. But they do have a cool mascot. So that's all the hotness I'm going to go over today with that. And with that being said, that's the hotness. So this week we've got the state finals coming up, and they're set in 7A. We've got Milton versus Walton, Battle of the ATL, and give you my hot picks on that. Don't really care. Don't have a dog in the fight. Makes no difference to me which one wins. But I think Walton is going to pull that one out. From what I've seen, they both got dudes. They're both good. I mean, you get to Elite Eight, everybody's good. But Walton looks pretty good to me. Like that. Now in 6A, got Thomas County Central and Woodward Academy. TCC is actually a year ahead of schedule. Word on the street, the hotness about that is they're actually 1 year ahead of where they thought they would be, which is scary, should be for everybody. Woodward Academy's got straight up dudes. Both places, they have dudes. They have great coaches. Should be a good one. Give me Woodward Academy in that one because I know what Douglas County had. Nothing against Thomas County Central. I usually pull for the South Georgia School, but I'm gonna go Woodward Academy there. In 5A, this could be the one. Creekside versus Coffee. Creekside got some creatures. Coffee got some things. Coach Code coming up from Florida. You know, it's kind of a Coffee County's kind of like Tift was. Bonwell Royals guys, like Coach Brody's guys down at Tifton. Coffee had Coach Royals guys. I got to pull for Coffee here. I know some people there. I hope Coach Bob Hall gets it done over there. Nothing against Creekside guys. They've done a great job, but I mean that should be the best game. I think maybe Walton Milton should be really good, but Creekside and Coffee that is going to be one for the ages. In 4A, you're going to have Stockbridge and Perry. The job that Kevin Smith has done at Perry is unbelievable. You can't even understand. I don't even think I can. Give me Perry because I love Rowdy, and he's such a great guy, and they've done such a great job. They've done a good job at Stockbridge as well. Not taking anything away from them, but sentimental favorite, and our little group that plays golf on the weekends, we're all behind Coach Smith and hope that he gets one. That'd be so freaking awesome. I mean, come on, Rowdy, get it done one more time, baby. In AAA, you got Cedar Grove and Savannah Christian. Give me Cedar Grove. I'm not pulling for a private school. I'm just not. I mean, they both recruit, get people, but I mean that's the way the game is. Now, here's the one, AA, where I wish that we still had ties because probably one of my best friends on earth, Kevin W. Stevenson. The W stands for will be playing for a state championship is at Pierce County with Ryan Cornbread Herring as the head coach, and they will be playing the Rock Mart Yellow Jackets, where coached by Biff Parson and his brother Rhett Parson, who I coached with in the past, good friend of mine. Tracy Malone's also on the staff, another great friend of mine. One of those games where I wish they could both win, but they can't. I got to go with my boy Kevin W. right here. I don't know who's going to win. They're both really, really good. But to see my boy Kevin get one, the stories, he's going to be on here. He's going to be on the podcast with us and tell us some stories because God knows he's got some, and he's going to be the subject of a lot of my stories anyway. In 1AA, our season ended. We played both of these people, Manchester and Bowden. Replay of game one this year. And the score of that game was 21-20. It was kind of misleading. I had to watch that film, break both of them down. Stephen Holmes at Manchester is one of the best human beings on the face of the planet, and he's just a good dude. He's a real football coach. what he has to do there at Manchester, what they expect out of you and what they pay you. He's at Zeke's place. Turn right at the light and get ready to get the hell knocked out of you. They got a stoplight in the end zone. It's a cool place. Coach Finley's done a great job at Bowden. But give me Stephen Holmes, Manchester, all day, every day. Hard to beat somebody twice in 1 year, but I got to pull for Stephen there. And then in Division I, we got the low morale crew from Swainsboro and Prince Avenue in a rematch. Come on, Scott Roberts, y'all get it done now. I really need this one. I need Swainsboro to make it happen for me. That would be great. I'd love to see those guys. Great staff, great people, and I mean Prince Avenue. Y'all got great coaches there. I know Coach Ride's the defensive coordinator. They do a great job there, but I'm public school biased, so I'm going to go with my boys at Swainsboro because I know that the morale will be at an all-time high. So that pretty much wraps it up for this first episode of Sun Coaches Podcast. I hope you guys join us. We're going to maybe go once a week, sometimes twice a week. It just depends. Sometimes we'll just have Hotness. Sometimes we'll have interviews. It just depends on how this thing goes and how it takes off. But I appreciate your time and I appreciate you listening. Be good, and if you can't be good at it. Remember, coach hard, coach fast, and be their biggest fans. Later.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
When you manage procurement for multiple facilities, every order matters. But when it's for a hospital system, they matter even more. Grainger gets it and knows there's no time for managing multiple suppliers and no room for shipping delays. That's why Grainger offers millions of products in fast, dependable delivery, so you can keep your facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.